me take you back to 2021. This young, bright-eyed Mr. Calloway in the midst of the Donda hype. It seemed like the world was waiting with bated breath for that record to drop. On the other side of the fight was Toronto's very own, the Six God, Aubrey Graham, also known as Drake, who was slated to release his own record, Certified Lover Boy. There was a lot of anticipation between both of these records, but especially Certified Lover Boy. It had been teased and delayed and hyped up to this gigantic proportion. Essentially, the hip-hop/music world was forced to choose sides. Would Kanye redeem himself following what was seen as a lackluster album with Jesus is King? And would Drake see himself return to the R&B laced sensitivities of Take Care, which is what I assumed Certified Lover Boy was going to be? Spoiler alert, this wasn't good. This was very good. I enjoyed. Donda released during the COVID lockdowns here in Australia, and me and my friends got together on a Zoom call to listen to the whole album in full, and it was just such a memorable time. So long story short, Ye won that, and Drake lost. Pretty bad. I remember really enjoying TSU, and then I listened to the lyrics. It left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. Fast forward about a year. Kanye's kind of resting on his laurels, and when I say that, I mean getting into as much controversy as anyone possibly could. You know, Donda did really, really well. However, Drizzy wasn't done. Drake begins teasing another project on his socials. Very shortly after that, Honestly Nevermind was released on June 17th, 2022. It was a dance project. I think upon people listening to it, they pulled out their reviewer gats and were just like, bang, mid, bang, bang, gra, gra, mid, mid, mid. The songs are too long, Drake's auto-crooning over these like nocturnal nightclub beats with no drop. It's just like a 4-on-the-floor rhythm. But this is in the same time frame that The Weeknd dropped Dawn FM, which had such a standout song with Sacrifice, which was the Swedish House Mafia assisted track, which was very dance, very house inspired. Not too long after that, Beyonce drops Renaissance, a dedicated house record, to much acclaim. Same year, Boy's a Liar by Pink Panthers and Ice Spice drops, which is yet another house track. 2023 rolls around, Peggy Goo drops and goes na 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 na. Troye Sivan drops Rush, and so on. House music is well and truly back in the mainstream after trap and hip hop kind of had a very lengthy tenure inspiring all of pop music essentially for the better part of a decade. Now, what's my point? Did Drake pioneer this trend, perfecting the formula for a new generation of club rats? I think we'd be kidding ourselves if we said that. But I also think we'd be silly not to look at Honestly Nevermind as something a little different. It's definitely separate to the rest of Drake's discography. Falling Back has this nocturnal, moody atmosphere that kind of sets up the record. A lot of these songs are nocturnal, Canadian nightclub, 2 a.m. inspired songs. They're hypnotic, they're long-winded. And yeah, while Drake's Falling Back is performed like not well, it's vulnerable and imperfect. While I understand that vocalizing can be pretty grating on someone's ears, I kind of find it endearing. It reminds me of Take Care, which is what we all wanted CLB to kind of be. There are no arguments here for Currence's squeaky bed percussion. I kind of wish they mixed it way, way lower because it is at the forefront of that entire song. But there's one song from this record though that is nothing short of It's definitely the standout hit of the record, mostly due in large part to the fact that it has a drop, and it's a really good drop. This is as house music as pop music could possibly get. And as someone who DJ'd this song, I put it in my mix 2 years in a row. It's a banger in the setting that it was clearly imagined for. It works incredibly well. And I think that's the thing. Not all music can be interpreted in the same setting. Physical context and location is really important. Sitting at home listening to Text Go Green isn't going to give you the same feeling as it would if you were sitting in a bar or a nightclub at 2 a.m. And I understand to many that sounds like a bit of a cop-out. Like, you just don't get the art. But how often have you glazed over a song only for it to be brought back to your attention months, if not years later, and have a completely different or profound effect on you? I know for me, when Blonde by Frank Ocean dropped, I was pretty middle of the road to it. There were no drums, they were very abstract, and it's not what I expected following Channel Orange. A year and a half, maybe later, I revisited the album, and I was at the time in my life where it was intended to resonate with me, and it did, and it's now my favorite record of all time. Our lives are soundtracks, and not every song suits every situation. And yeah, Drake went on to have a pretty awesome next few years. He dropped a lot of consecutive albums. He dropped the one with 21 Savage. He dropped his own tapes. Honestly, Nevermind was kind of seen as this less than successful artistic detour. It was an experiment, but I think I have to give Drake flowers in the sense that it was a risk. And to me, while it's not perfect, I think it's pretty fun to go back and listen to. And I like fun music. Anyway, that's all I really have to say on the topic. I just wanted to talk to a camera about this album. I've been revisiting it a lot recently as the temperature starts to warm up here. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next one.